Why are most people trapped? They're trapped with fear. They're trapped with worry. It's because they lack faith. See, I was in that place because I put myself in a bad situation. See, some of us realize we put ourselves in some bad situations. And when you put yourself in a bad situation, you believe you deserve to not ever make it out of it. But God's love said, I can bring you out of anything. Lo, I'm with you always, even until the end of the world. So as long as you believe I'm able, I will. And so now we are in a place that we allow fear to trap us. We allow worry to trap us. And because of a lack of faith, we think that, I can have positive thinking. Positive vibes, that's the thing. A feeling. And then the one thing is we have faith in our church affiliation. None of those things matter without faith. Yeah. If we don't have faith in the true creator of everything, then everything else is meaningless. Everything else is worthless. If you don't have faith to believe God is able, then hey, if you have faith, then you believe and you understand that Jesus died for your sins. You can have confidence and hope knowing that no matter what the situation, as long as Jesus is on the throne, there is a way out for me. There is a way that I can get out of these situations, and there is no one that can actually stop me as long as God is on my side. So now we are we're subject to a lack of faith. And a lot of us get that lack of faith because through the years, things doesn't always go in alignment the way we see it, the way we wanted to see it, because we want to see everything. I have people around me that they need to know every intricate detail in order for them to believe a situation is going to happen. If you don't tell them every detail, they don't believe that it's going to happen. So they want all the information. So some people, it's hard to surprise them because they nosy and they need to know too many details. God is saying, you don't need to know the details, just know that I'm God. I am God that said that I will provide everything you need. I will restore you and I will bring you to an expected end. I am the one that told you that I would never leave you nor forsake you, nor see my seeds begging bread. But we tend to beg for stuff because we don't believe that God is able. So, a lack of faith to know that God is with you, to overcome. See, if you don't have faith, then you don't believe God's with you. And if you don't believe God's with you, then you don't believe you can overcome sin. Yeah. And if you can't overcome sin, you can't overcome guilt. Yeah. And so if you have sin and guilt, then you also don't believe that anything that you're dealing with, some people are dealing with diseases, but they don't believe that God is able to heal them of the disease. See, we ask for things and then we don't believe that he's going to do it. Some of us don't even believe that he's not going to do it. We don't believe he's capable of doing it. See, I need to talk to some real people in here because I was in a place where I said he ain't going to do it. Come on. Not for me. Right. That's what I thought. I believed he's not going to do it for me. And I struggled with even going to church. I struggled with praying. I struggled with reading his word. My faith was non-existent. So the fact that he would forgive me of my sins, I didn't believe it. Because I didn't forgive myself of the stuff I was doing. See, when you be hard on yourself, sometimes you can not even believe somebody can love you through that thing. See, I was in a place where I didn't believe God could love me through the stuff I was doing. See, everybody thinks that, I had a church upbringing and I just, was happy with Jesus along the entire way. But once I got 18 and I got a car, all the teaching that my parents put in me went to the back seat. And so my faith was now in my ability. And so my faith, even in my career, became to be faith in my relationships with people. And when I was in these relationships with people, it started giving me to the point where I was trusting what they said. I was starting to smell myself, feel myself, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to say. I was starting to really think that I was that dude because everybody liked me. Everybody spoke highly of me. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to apply for this position. I'm going to get it because everybody loves me around here. But people will show you real quick that they ain't God and they don't have your back. People will fail you. So therefore, you need to have faith in somebody that has never failed you. It may not have, we think God failed us because it didn't happen the way we wanted it to happen. The relationship with that person you wanted, God said ain't good for you, so he allowed that relationship to end, and you said, God, he's not with me. Now I protected you from something. I don't want to show you what I protected you from, but just know I protected you from some more heartache. Some of us have been protected from murders. Some of us been protected from some really crazy situations because God stepped in and said, no, not this one. This relationship's going to have to end right here because I know what I have for them and I'm not going to do that to them. No. I'm not going to allow you to mess up the relationship me and them have. So I'm going to cause you to leave on your own. So for some of us, that shakes our faith because now we didn't get what we wanted out of the situation. So now because I didn't get what I wanted out of the situation, my prayer life is affected. I didn't get the house I wanted, so my prayer life is affected. God, Jesus, I prayed and I cried. I prayed, I believed. But if we can remember all the recessions that we've had in this country, it was because people took on loans they couldn't afford. And maybe it was a loan or a situation you was about to take on that God saying, you can't handle that one, baby. I'm going to let this one pass. And I'm going to bring something that's going to give you what you want, but for a dollar amount that you can handle. See, sometimes we want things that we know we can't handle, and then we want God to figure it out. Like God saying, I figured it out. I figured it out. You're not getting that one, but I have another one that you're going to love. See, it's not the one you said you wanted, but when you look at the one that you get, you're like, dang, that's everything I wanted, and then some. See, we got to stop allowing things to throw us off our faith. And so the question is, do you have faith?
Right. All right now.
To believe that God will work it out? If it's an injustice, do you believe that God will work it out? To believe that God will provide for you? Do you have faith to believe that God can help you endure severe trials and persecutions? Do you believe that God can deliver you from each and every one of them? Do you believe and have faith that the kingdom is coming and God is going to make a way out of no way for you? Do you believe that God is able? Because the question ain't so much, I guess I did ask that. I said, do you have faith? The problem, sometimes we have faith. But again, what is your faith in? Who do you have faith in? Because, I was looking at something and I was like, man, even the atheist has faith. They have faith in their rational reasoning. And it has removed the possibility of God. So they believe reasoning. They science. And science is great. Don't get me wrong. But where did that come from? They say atoms. Where did those come from? Everything had to be created somewhere. So where did it come from? So the conversation, anybody that says they don't believe God, you can literally say, okay, so what makes you not believe? And they can say, oh, because of this. Well, where did that come from? Well, this. Well, where did that come from? And it's always something that existed at some point, but who created it? Yes, sir. There had to be a God somewhere. And so now we have atheists that believe in their rational reasoning. He has faith in his intellect and his ability. Some of us are there. We believe in God, but we have faith in our intellect and our ability. And so we put God's, God, I got this one. That's how we think about it, huh? We apply for something. I got this one, God. Don't worry about it. I got it. My credentials speak for themselves. Others have faith in their abilities, their skills, their connections. I just talked about that. Friends and family, and in themselves. See, some of us, we remove faith because we just have too much faith in us. You still have to have faith and believe that God is going to be the one that works it out, because even though you apply for that position doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to accept that application. It's crazy because I'm in recruiting right now, and certain applications come through and they never even make it to an interview. When I look at their bad boys, deny, decline. Oh my goodness, decline. And it's like, but we believe, but you have faith in your ability. That's why you click. One person put 2 months for job history. 2 months. No resume, no nothing. Just 2 months. Decline. Like, if you had more job history, you should put it down. Because now I'm like, decline. You don't have enough job history. So now we know that everybody has faith in something. The question is, we talked about the anchor. Where is your faith anchored in? Because we know that sooner or later the storm of life will begin to blow. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. And then the question will be, will your anchor hold? Wow. See, that's the problem. We got anchored in people. We got anchors in our ability. We got anchors in our skills, and we got anchors in ourselves. But all those things are not on solid rock. They're not on solid ground. So therefore, that anchor may not hold. But if your anchor is in Jesus, then your anchor will hold. If you believe that God is able to do everything but fail, but now you can believe that your anchor shall hold. So now you got to ask yourself, will your anchor hold? Somebody ask your neighbor, will your anchor hold? Come on, that don't sound like their anchor is going to hold. Will your anchor hold? Somebody should tell you, yeah, my anchor is going to hold because my anchor is in Jesus. I have faith to believe that the Son of God that created everything is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all I can ask or think. So yeah, my anchor is going to hold. Yeah, it's going to hold. Because I know the one that created everything. When everybody said, oh, you didn't get that job, but that's right, that's cool. You know what? He got something better in store for me. See, I believe and I know that whenever something doesn't go the way I want it to, God got something better in store for me. I had to talk to a friend the other day, and I said, God got something in store for you. And she was like, you know what? I'm ready to give up. And I said, that's what the devil wants you to do. Yeah. See, the devil wants you to believe that, oh, that was my last shot. I ain't got no other opportunities. But God is saying, as long as I'm on the throne, there's another opportunity for you. So even though it doesn't look like you qualified for that position, I qualified you before I called you. I justified you before I ordained you. Now you know it. I'm able to do it.
Yeah.
It don't matter what your the credentials say. It says that you need a bachelor's degree. Apply.
Wow.
You need experience. Apply. I'm in positions right now. I've testified about it. That said, you need a degree. I ain't got no degree. I'm leading people with degrees. Because what I'm telling you is I serve a God that is able. I serve a God that is able to do anything. I serve a God that is, his creativity says that, hey, I'll put you above. Because some people think they got that little plaque, that paper, they're above you.
Yeah.
But God's saying, I'm going to put you above them.
Yeah.
And now they got to answer to you.
Yeah. Wow.
There's situations that we believe that God, he's not going to do it.
Preach it, Pastor. Preach it.
But I was always told that if you don't believe, then don't even try.
Right.
Don't the scriptures tell us that many people were saved and healed because of their faith.
Amen.
The woman with the issue of blood,
Yeah.
she just believed
My God.
that if I could just touch,
Yeah.
if I could just touch. See, the same God that felt the virtue leave his body is the same God that's in your situation right now. The same God that she just believed that no matter what the situation in front of me, that every single doctor said there's nothing else they could do for me. But God, if I could just get to Jesus. If I could just get to Jesus. See, some of us just need to get to Jesus. God saying, increase your faith right now in me and to know that I am able. She believed. And it didn't matter what the situation was in front of her. She got through every roadblock. She pushed through every stumbling, every crowd. Everywhere that Jesus went, there was a crowd of people. So can you imagine the crowds that she had to get through? I could just think back on going to concerts and trying to get out of a concert or trying to get in a concert is a nightmare. So I can only imagine that when she was trying to get to Jesus, that crowd was enormous. And so now you're in a place where you're trying to push through, but that's faith. Because faith says, if I can just touch, everything will be all right. If I can just get there, I know he'll make a way. If I can just make it through this crowd, I know he'll heal me. I know he'll deliver me. If I can. Some of us are embarrassed because we're crawling, but she had to crawl to get to Jesus because it don't matter what situation's in front of me. I don't care what the circumstance is in front of me. And if I gotta crawl, I'll get there. If I gotta limp, I'll get there. If I gotta walk, I'll get there. If I can run, I'm running there. I'm gonna get there by any means necessary. There is nothing that is gonna be able to stop me from getting to God. I don't care what the situation is. I don't care where the storm is blowing from. As long as your anchor is in Jesus, your anchor's going to hold. If you have your anchor in the Lord, I know he'll be able to say, even though it's rocky right now, just hang on in there. I got you. I'm going to bring you out of this. I know I'm going to make a way for you. Wait till they see you on the other side. Wait till they see you on the other side. See, they saw you when you were miserable. They saw you when you were depressed. They saw you when you was hurting. They saw you when you was in pain. But now wait till I clean you up. Wait till I turn you around. Wait till I place your feet on solid ground. Wait till I make that joke. I'm going to make that joke and regret everything you did to you. But wait till I get you there.
Feed us, preacher.
Ooh, you stepping on toes. Come on.
Feed us, preacher.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Keep eager.
All teams.
Peter gives us 3 reasons that it is important to anchor our faith in God. How can that be? Well, if you look where faith in Christ is kept in heaven, Jesus says that we are to put our treasures in heaven where moths and rust cannot destroy and thieves can't steal them. If our faith is set upon things of this world, then our faith will perish. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Our faith, if you put it in things on this world, it's going to perish. We know that kingdoms has fallen. We put our faith in the government. The economy has fallen.
Yeah.
We put our faith in jobs. They've closed up and closed down. We put our faith in our cars and they break down. We put our faith in everything. But God is saying, if you put your faith in me, even if your car breaks down, I'll make sure you can have the money to repair it. Even if that job lays you off, I'll make sure you can get another one. That might be the seed that he was waiting on you. Sometimes I believe God makes those jobs close down because some of us won't be that entrepreneur he wants us to be with as long as we have that crutch. Some of us are crutched because it's comfortable. And so we say we have faith, but that fear is stronger than our faith. But as long as God has showed you the plan, put it to action. Plan it out. I was always told if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So we have to make sure our anchor is in Jesus. Because one thing I'll tell you, I learned the hard way, a relationship in people. You know, you think, oh, I'm cool with them. We speak every time I see them. You know, we cool. But those people don't care nothing about you. If they had the opportunity to stab you in the back, they will. I've experienced it. I've experienced somebody go so low down and dirty behind my back with somebody I looked up to. Because, see, God has a way of saying, hey, you can love people, but don't put 100% faith in anybody but me. Put 100% faith in God and his ability to change people. God, after I had to learn that faith in God is the only one I can 100% put 100% faith in. That is it. Because God has never failed me. It doesn't look the way I want it to look. Nobody wants to endure the storm. Nobody wants to feel those rocky nights. Nobody wants to feel the turbulence of the sea. You know, nobody wants to feel that. It gets me motion sickness. I get a little sick when I start dealing with that rocky boat. But as long as Jesus is at the helm, I'm all right. As long as I know Jesus is at the helm, I can endure any storm. As long as I know Jesus is with me, I can handle anything. I can't handle this, but with God, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I can't do this, but God, see, I'm nothing without him. The reason why that song resonated so much for me is because I know for a fact without him, I am nothing. When I look at my W-2s and I see what I made last year, I say, without you, I couldn't have done this. When I look at my house, I pull up and I say, without you, I couldn't have done this. When I look at my kids and I see them growing up happy, I look at myself and I say, God, I couldn't have done this without you. When I look at my wife and I say, Lord, this relationship wouldn't be where it is without you. I know that there's a God somewhere. I know that he's in my situation. I know he's in my life. I know he's working out everything for my good. I know he's orchestrating everything so he can get the glory out of my life. See, I'm not up here for no likes. I'm not up here for no finances. I am up here because if God said go, I'll go.
Praise God.
If he told me to do it, I'm going to do it. Because I know what he does for me. And if he doesn't do anything else for me, he's done enough. I can literally say, if he doesn't do anything else, he has been so amazing to me. I could cry every single day about how good he is to me. And I know I don't deserve him. I don't deserve him. When we get to that realization, that understanding we don't deserve him, that's when your true relationship with God begins. Because now you can really understand, and you can treat him the way you should have been treating him the entire time. Spending that time with him. What relationship you know survives with no time? Ain't no relationship going to survive without communication. You have to talk to him. You have to be with him. See, sometimes we think that the only way we can talk to him is if we get down on our knees, but sometimes I do it in the car.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do it at my job. Have to put on even some gospel sometimes because I know that where my anchor is, I know my anchor is going to hold. And even when they trying to frustrate me, I know who my anchor holds and reals a solid rock. That rock is Jesus. I know who my anchor is in. See, when we get to that point where we stop looking at people and start looking at God, our strength and our faith is going to get increased. God just said, if you just have a faith the size of a mustard seed. You know, we've talked about how small a mustard seed is. And I know my faith is bigger than that. If your faith ain't bigger than that, I challenge you to come to the altar for prayer. Because we have to get to start believing that God will do just what he said. He didn't just give those promises to Abraham. He gave those promises to us. We are the seed of Abraham.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, we walk into some promises too. And when we walk into those promises, you have to believe that God's blood cleansed me and made me worthy of everything that I'm getting. It ain't nothing that you did for yourself. It's because of God's blood that cleansed us. We all in white because God's blood cleansed us. We're here today because God's blood cleansed us. We're able to live because of God's blood.